Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Eternal X-Pack Paranormal, and I am your host, Sean Ellis. My co-host will be coming on here a little later during the show. She's at another location, and she'll be stopping in when she does. We'll introduce her when she comes on. I have tonight as my guest, Haunted Soulz Paranormal. They were supposed to be on at the beginning of the year, and they got into some bad weather at the time. And we rescheduled them, so they're here tonight. So we're going to be talking with them about their experiences and how they got into the field and etc. And if you got any questions, feel free to ask them, and we'll answer them right here on the show. So let me introduce these guys from Haunted Soulz Paranormal. We have Frankie, and we have Dan. How you guys doing tonight?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good.
We're doing well.
Pretty good.
We're settling in.
You said earlier, you guys said earlier, you guys are getting some of the weather down there still. So, God, I hate snow.
Up, man. Picking up, and it's just it's not friendly to ghost hunters. We were shooting this week with Discovery Channel at one of our locations, and it was just brutal. And they're from Canada, so they weren't, but even they were cold.
Yeah, they were cold.
Like, just because we're from Canada, we're still human.
Oh,
wow. So it was icy, and it was the first day was nicer than the second day. The second day it had snowed a little bit and ice, and it was just I'm
sorry to say, Wednesday at 11:30, Wednesday night at 11:30, 11:45, I was ready to just get out of there. I was like, I'm done. This is done. I'm done. Cold. Too cold. We've been here for 2 long days.
Yeah, and Johnny and Jordan from Ghost Off Grid, that's the name of the show, is Ghost Off Grid, and then Johnny and Jordan are the host of it. It's the second season, and they were actually phenomenal to work with. And it's actually like a really good show because they didn't really fake anything. Like, they were really we liked them so much, we actually badged them in. They earned a badge. I mean, Jordan, we locked him up in Matt Albert's solitary confinement cage, and he stayed in there an hour with a camera. And then Johnny went down a forbidden hallway in Emmaus where you're not really supposed to go down and ghost hunt because the spirit down there is pretty angry. But he did it, and they both did their lonely walks, as we call it on the team. If you want to become a member of our team, we have challenges you have to do. It's not just a matter of filling out an application. You kind of have to prove to us that you can do lonely walks and that you can go through the buildings alone and do those types of things, because sometimes, we get some paranormal investigators that don't want to leave quietly at 2:30 a.m. and we have to go get them or hunt them down. So we have a really good lineup of people, and so we've been really excited about Emmaus Village that is popping off, and I think we have 2 events there scheduled for March 7th and 8th. And those tickets are on sale right now. And it's a fun location, man. A lot more TV is coming. A lot more TV shows are coming. They really, really want. It is the largest paranormal destination in Missouri. So that was kind of our week.
That's definitely awesome. You guys sound like you had a busy weekend for sure. Yeah. So, Frankie, how did you become into the paranormal?
I have a different track than most paranormal people. I was in seminary. I was on my way to become a priest. I love the idea of theology. I still do. I'm probably the most religious member in our group and core, and a lot of people lean on me for demonology. I come from a long line of exorcists. I have a lot of friends that are still practicing exorcists with the Catholic Church. I'm very good. I have a very good relationship with Father Gary Thomas. If you don't know who he is, there was a movie done on him with Anthony Hopkins called The Rite. And that's about the story of Father Gary Thomas. Mm-hmm. He was the leading American exorcist. He's now retired and teaches seminary in Redwood City, California. And after going through a lot of interesting stuff with me, I still love the paranormal. It turns out there were certain sacraments I wasn't willing to give up, and one of those was marriage. And, my want to have children was too great, and I think God set me on a different path. I'm still involved in the Catholic Church. I have 2 more years before I become deacon, because I just got married this year, so it's a 3-year program. So I still will be able to be clergy. But yeah, that's kind of where I went. I see a lot of demon clickbait these days, and it's just so sad to me that people are so easily fooled. And they really don't understand how demonology works. I've spent a better part of my life studying multiple books, multiple readings. You won't find demons. You will not find evil. You will not find things in the actual Greek or English Bibles. That's not where that stuff resides. It's captivating that a lot of times when you read the full book, the 66 books of the Christian Bible, from Old Testament to New, you will find the word evil spirit 1 time. You will find demonic or demons 3 times. That is all. It's not a book that teaches you about demonology. That's not where you go for that. There are certain texts and ancient texts that I've studied. And in a couple weeks, we're going to have June Lundgren on our show, who is a demon seer. And so I think that for most of us that have been around in this world of paranormal, I think that for as many demons that these people are coming across, it's really creating the paranormal world further and further away from science and more into the pseudoscience realm, because of these ill-informed people. They just don't have any clue as to how demons work. They don't understand how evil works. They don't understand ancient evil. When we're talking about Sumerian, we're talking about Mesopotamia, we're talking about Mott and Baal. And a lot of times people will be out where Beelzebub actually comes from. So, we can get into that later too if you want to. I can take you down a little bit of tour into the demonology and how this is how I know a lot of people are just so wrong. Just they don't operate that way. So, little mixture of clergy, a little mixture of ghost hunting, and I got into ghost hunting around when I was 17 years old, but I didn't go demon hunting because I didn't move that way. And that was kind of a little long-winded, but I tend to be. So, and he was just drunk one night and said, "Let's go hunting for ghosts." No, I'm just
I'm gonna holler out to some people here. We got Letriana Brown, Terry Brown in the house. She is the CEO of All Access Network Television. She is in the house here tonight.
Nice.
And also we have Jess Perez. Hello, Jess. Thank you guys for stopping by. And then we just had another one pop in, Mason Klein. Thanks guys for stopping in.
Look at Maddie's here.
Maddie's our team.
She's one of the owners, the other owners of Haunted Souls. Yeah, one of the partners of Haunted Souls.
She's a specialist in Estes.
She's my daughter. She's our Estes specialist, and yeah,
that's awesome.
She was at soft.
So you started out when you were drinking, wanted to go.
No, that's all. Don't believe him. No.
I have to do some absolution every day.
Yeah, it's not even close to that, though. My story is not as long as his. Sorry. No. We have a sign that we hold up that says, "Okay, stop, Frankie." Kind of like Forrest Gump. No. Actually, my daughter had. She was just on here. Maddie had some stuff when she was young. She saw my father that passed away way before. My dad died when I was 16, and Maddie would come and visit Maddie, and Maddie would say things like that. So I was intrigued a little bit when my daughter was younger and stuff. But a friend of mine took me and said, "Hey, do you want to go ghost hunting at one of the largest, at that time one of the largest locations in Missouri, and which is MSP and Missouri State Penitentiary." Sorry, and then. I went and I was hooked. I was like, ever since then, I got a job with one of the largest event crews. And then I was like, you know what? I can do this myself. And started the Haunted Souls and everything. And then I met Frankie and he came over. And so I've been doing it for about 6 years.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So mine's not, mine's just, I just went to one and I was hooked.
He went to one and he was hooked. That was it. Yep. And then he needed rescuing, and so yes. You need it nice.
I'm one of me and Jeremy. There's another partner, Jeremy King, Jeremy David King, and me and him are the two brave ones. Maddie and Frankie are the nope. I'm out of here, guys.
So
I'm the marketing guy.
So when we were up in the quad, when we were up at the Quad Cities at the expo, I had a chance to meet you, Dan, and we were talking about some equipment. Now, which one of you is the ones that do the equipment that makes the idea? That's you. Yeah. And how did you get into that? I mean, when you were ghost hunting, did you come up across some of these things and thought maybe you can make better changes to them?
Yes, their big concern, and that's one thing that Haunted Soulz Paranormal is all about, is that we're not out there to try to rip people off. Mm-hmm. There's so many people out there, and ghost equipment is so expensive.
It is.
And we, and a lot of people I've come across, a lot of these people, they spend, $100, $150 for tickets to go to an event. They don't have the $300, the $400 to buy, or $170 to buy a REM pod, or, SLS camera and stuff. So I'd set, being a ghost hunter, you have a lot of downtime sitting there waiting for them to talk to you and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like fishing, you don't always get stuff right away. So
right.
I started throwing around ideas and like looking at things, and I started taking things apart, and I had one little REM pod that was broke. So I took it apart and realized how it was made. And I thought, hey, I can do this. And I started off with those, and then I started off with another thing, and then it just kept growing. And I mean, we got skulls that light up. We have
different price ranges too. So at the Paracons, you go up to these people's tables and they're selling REM pods for like $200, $300, and it's like the technology of what it goes into it. I'm not disparaging anybody's work. It's just like, we hire a guy that specializes in 3D printing. He's really, really good at it. Mm-hmm. So we basically have to fit the bill for that. And then when Dan takes that off, we always come up with new and cool ideas. And Dan's always having some, like, we did really, really cool mystery machines from Scooby-Doo. Instead of just this ugly black puck that sits on the wall mm-hmm. or on the floor, we decided to do, Dan's like, let's do the mystery machine. And the guy's like, I can do the mystery machine. So we have a mystery machine REM pod. We now are doing ghost traps from Ghostbusters that are REM pods. We'll be selling those at the Missouri Paracon. Mm-hmm. Is coming up in 2 weeks here. At the some casino in KC, which I really hope people show up to this one, Sean. I know you've done a lot of paranormal stuff in your life. Mm-hmm. These guys want $175 a ticket, and wow. I was like, man, that's steep, dude.
Yeah. That is.
So I think it's going to be a lot of us sitting around buying vendors shit that day. So I don't think a lot of.
Well, I hope not.
Yeah, I don't know how he's planning. $175 beginning of the year. It's like, wow, dude. I guess he's
this is the first one too.
Taking on those tax returns, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially if you got to get a motel and stay up there, for traveling, and on top of that, and food on it, all that. Wow.
That's good. That's why we came up with a new idea for a new REM pod. And then I'm always looking for, like we talked about, the gremlin and stuff. Like I have like baby Yodas. We'll have those. Actually, one will be a remote control. So you can drive it into a room if you want and not have to go in there. But they're like Boo Bears and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But the whole concept was not to charge an arm and a leg. I mean, we make what we pay for what we make it, the cost of it, and then we get a little bit extra, but we're not out there to kill people.
Yeah, no,
and stuff. So it's a reasonable thing.
It's reinvestment money too.
And they sell. If you make them cheaper, they sell.
Yeah. And they work just as well. So it's not like we stumbled upon this technology. No, you really didn't. It's basically a geofence, and if you break it, it goes off. Essentially what it is.
It's nice to have them, like they buy them at our events, and all of a sudden they're using them and you hear them go off and stuff. It's like, it's like validation that they work. Like, okay, that's cool. Yeah. It works. So
and we put all
most definitely.
We own the leading ones too. I mean, we own the ones that go for like $200, and we put those next to ours, and they work just as well. So, you have stuff like that, it's all a matter about like symmetry as well as if you're using equipment. You can't just fully rely on equipment to that you're actually talking to a ghost, a lot of things can set those things off.
Mm-hmm.
So it's having multiple
Right.
equipment helps, like we sell laser grids and we sell K2 meters. We sell K2 meters that are, I don't know, $25 all the way up to $75. It depends on how crazy and technical you want to get. So it's just a matter of, puts yourself out there. But like we always tell people too, if you're ghost hunting, it's all about going with your gut first. Like what is your body telling you?
Exactly.
What is your mind's eye telling you?
Right. Exactly.
You can walk into a place and it's supposed to be the most haunted place in the world, and you're just like, this place isn't. It's you just feel it.
If I don't ever get that creepy feeling, me, you've been around me long enough. If I get that vibe, like this place is crazy, I get the hair that stands on my back. I've been told that I can see, but I just haven't opened that part of my brain.
One of his eyes.
That's my eye. That's my dead eye.
Susan, yeah, Susan Tucker.
Hey, there's Susan.
He has a ghost eye.
Yeah, we have Susan Tucker in the house. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, one of Dan's body parts made it to the other side. So
yeah, I can see that through the veil.
Your eye looks back at you from across the veil.
If I come across a gremlin, I'm definitely gonna send it to you guys to.
I've been looking for one, a gizmo or
Yeah. I think that would just be kind of cool.
Yeah, I've been looking.
I think it's a cool idea you guys did.
Yeah,
did the mystery machines as well, and even the Ghostbuster traps. That's pretty awesome idea. I think that's cool.
Yeah, we tried. We were thinking about doing the Echo 1 car, and it just has a lot of detail and was kind of pricey for a 3D printer.
Yeah, and we're trying to
do it.
We're trying to keep the cost down.
Yeah,
and I think our cost on that one was close to like $75. So
yeah, so
it was like, well, then we'd get right back to where we don't want to be there, because it's a lot of plastic to make that little guy, and so we're trying to really. We want to make ghost hunting affordable too. It can get very expensive. We have people on our team that as soon as stuff comes out, they buy it. Like, as soon as it comes out, they have it. It's like crazy.
I think one of them has 2 mystery machines and a skull. And it's like every time we come up with a REM pod, they buy it. And they got a Boo Bear. They got one of the baby Yodas and stuff. We're also having we have these wood-crafted cat ball discs. They have a yes and a no little area where you can set the cat balls in, and they don't roll away, and people don't smash them and kick them across the floor.
Yeah, we kind of perfected that too. That was pretty smart. His sister is a good woodworker.
Yeah, so we got those. So,
and a lot of times when people use cat balls, it's like Dan saying, like all the floors are uneven when you're ghost investigating, and all these condemned buildings, and they roll away, they roll under stuff. This actually keeps them contained, so you can actually, you can film that and you can see the interaction. And that's kind of what, having the 3 locations that me and Dan have, from a service agreement standpoint, we don't own the properties. We own the investigation side of the business. So we have service agreements with each of our locations. And those are about 3 years long with the chance of renewal. And I think they'll all renew because we're trying to preserve the history. We look at the history. We really rely on our owners, to bring that history to the public. And then to refine the history. You have places like ISS where they're probably already sold out for the year, and they refuse to work on the building. So now the gaping leak that was there 5 years ago is now a gaping hole that's probably 10 yards long. And eventually the place is just going to fall in on itself, or somebody's going to become a ghost.
I think I had just the one night I investigated. I think I got black mold in my lungs.
The black mold,
all the water that's in that place. Have you been there, Sean?
Yeah.
No, I haven't been.
Make sure you bring a respirator.
Yeah, it's bad, dude. It's bad.
It's bad.
It's bad. It's like, and they do these drone videos. I'm like, oh, maybe they're getting a construction company to come out and look at how menacing this looks. I'm like, yeah, for your lungs, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, you can walk in, which is one of the epic things of Indiana is the nurses station, and we've gotten great activity in there. But when you get there, you can look up and see the sky. That's how.
It's so bad.
It's a big hole.
It's only a matter of time before that crumbles. And our purpose in gatekeeping and taking care of these properties is this: making sure the money is going into the buildings, making sure that when we send over the money to the Arcadia Academy, to Emmaus Village, and a great example of this too. And it's not all because of ghost hunting, but if you look at the Haunted Mansion in St. Louis, what Nicole's been able to do with that place and bring it from I mean, I remember looking at that place 7 or 8 years ago and being like, yeah, this place isn't salvageable. Because we were thinking about buying it a long time ago. Mm. And I'm like, it's just too much work. Right. But Nicole bought it. And I think within 3-4 years time, she's really been able to she's got window. It's looking great, looking beautiful. And that's where we try to find our niche when we're doing events. We want owners like that. We want owners that actually care about the building and the history of the building and maintaining that first. And you do that through these investigations. And that's what makes it so important to us that we do sell out. We want to sell out every event, because the more we sell out, we can bring these places back to, where they need to be for level occupancy and ADA compliance. People in wheelchairs, vets, man, that lost their legs or have trouble walking or getting upstairs. We have the ability to make these places accessible again, so we can have ghost hunters from all different ranges and walks of life. And if we're not putting money back into those buildings, then that's just not a possible or foreseeable future for them. So that's part of what Haunted Soulz Paranormal does. We're a very different looking team. Yes, we are strong and we're big. We have a lot of members, and all of our members are earned. They earn their badges. We wear the colors, and everyone on our team has showed their bravery in very dark places, and that we help and we cultivate and we teach people how to ghost hunt.
And one thing Frankie was talking about, Emmaus, this is a big thing that we're trying to do at Emmaus, is that we have access to all floors, that we have elevator. It's not working, but there was an elevator there, and it's just needs a new motor and stuff. And we could be, wheelchair accessible, because if you've been to different haunted locations, there's just, you can't, there's tons of stairs, and that just opens up another area of people to ghost hunt. So that's one of our main goals at Emmaus, is to get the elevators working there.
That's awesome. That's great that you guys are doing that to help out the places that you're actually working with. I've been to some locations where you've walked up the staircase and you'd have to walk up the side of the stairs just to get up, because the floor or the steps themselves in the middle would bust out underneath of you. And then once you got up to the top floor, you got to make sure you stay against the wall, because the floor would fall through if you walk through it. We've been to some of those locations before, and it's dangerous when we go out to those locations. I'm sure you guys have been there.
Don't become a ghost.
Don't become a ghost. That's definitely cool. Frankie, you brought up a little earlier on how you get your members, and you want to explain that, because I think that's kind of a unique thing that you do with that.
Yeah, so we have a lot of people that once they meet us, once they ghost hunt with us, they're like, man, that's the team I want to be on, because we look drama in the eye and we face it right there and then. Me and Dan have a rule that if something goes down, we don't let people sit on their feelings. And following the biblical text, we don't let arguments sunset. So never let an argument solve the argument before the sun sets is essentially biblical. It's something that we've instilled in our team. You have multiple personalities. You have different people. We all have life. We all have, hey, Zipper Boy's here.
Damn. Zipper Boy.
But so the thing is that we want people that are strong, that are brave, that want to be part of work as a unit. What makes us a little bit different too is that when our events hit a certain threshold, we actually pay every one of our team members that are working the night. So we have 2 leads that will get paid, and we have 3 supports that will get paid. So not only are they able to be at these locations, wear the colors, but they also get paid. And not a lot of ghost teams actually pay their employees to run events. We do, which makes us a little bit different. And so how you become a member of Haunted Soulz Paranormal is you have to do a series of challenges. And everyone can have a headquarters. If they want to HQ at Arcadia, then your challenges are at Arcadia. If you want to HQ at Emmaus, then your challenges are at Emmaus. So if you're at Emmaus, for instance, one of the challenges is that you get locked in Matt Albert's cell for an hour by yourself. So you literally are in solitary confinement. The bar comes down. He's never going to. You're not. You're never.
Hey, if we give you a nickname, that's That's something. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing.
That's right. I mean, I'm Hollywood.
Wow. Damn,
but the thing that we do is we basically encourage people to become. And then I'm wearing the purple. Dan is wearing the black. And that's our. Yeah, if you just spin around there, you'll see that the badging kind of dipped down a little bit.
Yeah.
So there's kind of the badging in the back. So you'll get a sweater. It just has our Grim Reaper holding our chicken. And you'll get a sweater like that. And then if you earn your badges, then we badge you in. And then there's a celebration before the night. Usually that's done between and with, other ghost hunters and stuff like that that are there for the event. We always badge people in before. If they're wearing purple, they're support. If they're wearing black, they're leads. We also do a pretty cool thing with our events as well. Careful, you're hurting my camera there, buddy.
Sorry.
Yeah. So we do something pretty cool too. We give people paranormal equipment. I know a lot of teams do that. We also rent body cam, which we encourage people to do, is to rent actual police body cam and just turn that thing on. It'll last 11 hours, and you don't have to worry about ever holding a camera. You have your hands free at that point. So we offer body cameras. And the other thing we offer is pro ghost hunters to go with you. So you can check out one of the staff of Soulz Paranormal. So you can take, I want to take Maddie with me, or I want to take Brandy with me, and they will go ghost hunt. So you actually learn from the pros. And a lot of times we get people that come up that are pros. They just, hey, man, I never checked this place out. And so what we offer is we do the rotations like most teams do. We do ours differently, right? Everything we do at Soulz is unique. So what we do is we have 3 rotations. One of those rotations is for people that know all the stuff, that don't need to be trained, that just want to go ghost hunt. We pay to ghost hunt. I want to ghost hunt. I don't want to do rotations for you guys. So we go through all the equipment. We go through the little spiel, little history stuff, and then we send them on their way. So location 3 goes with a support and a lead, and then they can just start ghost hunting. The other 2 go to Estes method, and we do Phasma box, and we teach them the correct way to do Estes method, because I'm seeing a lot on TikTok, the Estes method, the guy standing in front of the person asking the question. And I'm like, that's not how Estes.
I like the
we can hear you.
Right.
Like,
I like the Estes that's like by themselves too.
Yeah.
The one person just puts it on and they just yell out what they're hearing. It's like no one's asking questions. Yeah. No one knows what's going on.
You're sitting on fire.
Yeah.
93.9. The rock station.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. No one's knowing.
We teach people the correct way to do stuff because we want them to go to other locations and be like, oh, I really want to go ghost hunting with Haunted Souls. And that's why we've really opened up the books this year. And we're doing close to 13 different locations that you can ghost hunt with us. We're actually another team too that we do a little bit differently. Next week we'll be launching our seasonal and our annual passes. So for $500 you can pick 6 locations. For $1,000 you get all 13 locations. So your ghost hunting season is done. We put you on the calendar and you are scheduled to be at every one. And because we have so many multiple dates of our own exclusive properties, that if you can't make that one, we can actually move you. So we want to make sure people have a good time. But a lot of times people just want to go all in. They really want to do it. And I'm like, you know what? Get the annual pass, man. And you'll go to all these locations. And there's a bunch. We have some great locations this year. We're actually testing the waters at Pythian Castle. We've talked to the owner there. Right. So we really hope to make that one huge. So that's some fun stuff we got going on.
That's awesome. I'm interrupt you here for a minute. My co-host and the producer from All Access Network Television is coming backstage, and I will bring her on. Miss Gwen Johns is in the house.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
What's going on?
Hey. Trying to hurry up and get home, so I made it. Yay.
Yeah, you're perfect.
Yeah, I figured you'd get home on time.
I was talking?
Yeah, I was listening to you guys coming then.
You were listening to Frankie.
Yeah.
Now, who is the one that was in seminary? Which one of you guys?
It's me, Frankie. I'll be signing up again. So I'm going to become a deacon. There was a moment where I was going to leave the Catholic Church for good. I'm not a fan of the Pope at all. Most real Catholics, Roman Catholics, are not a fan of this Pope. But I decided to
Gotcha.
stay Catholic, but I'm actually going to work my way into the church and do it the right way and teach people the right way. I'm not for apostasies, and this Pope is a criminal, and allowing voodoo gods in the Vatican is just wrong.
Afternoon. I'm sorry, I don't mean Cameron. That's another Carmen. She was like afternoon.
Yeah, we got
7:30 p.m.
Yeah,
we have
that's one of our. That's actually one of Carmen is
Carmen
one of
Burns.
our, yeah, she's actually going to be badged in on the 7th on Soulz Paranormal.
Yeah. Cool. And then we got Timothy in the house. It said Arcadia was wild for me and personally, as well as our group never had a response, a replication like we captured in the third floor in the restroom.
Yeah. So Tim came out to what we've done to also share our locations and, get the word out for our locations. Me and Frankie came up with the concept to have 2 pro nights a year where we invite different groups for free to come out. We give you 2 free tickets. And then if you have anybody else, it's only $50 each additional person after that. But we give you 2 free tickets to come out to one of our locations, and we have a pro night. And last time we had in Arcadia, I think we had 18 different teams. Yeah, we had a lot of teams. We invited a lot of teams out. And Tim was one of the teams that we invited with Phantom Detour.
Yeah,
Phantom Detour.
We had Patriot. Those
there was all kinds. We had Spooky Dookie
is one of my favorite teams.
Spooky Dookie.
Yeah, I saw that when I had to invite him. I was like, Spooky Dookie, come on, that's like,
it was hilarious. They were stuck at Farrar House. That's how they came up with the name, though, right?
Yeah,
Farrar Schoolhouse.
Yeah,
he's great on camera too. And I had the honor and the privilege. I think that once again, I mean, we have TikTok and we watch other teams and we look at how these people are getting 20,000 followers and we're just like, man, like, it's crazy to me that like a lot of these people don't know what they're doing and they have so many followers. And I think that one of the things that keeps coming up is this word gatekeeping, where these people like me and Dan who have locations are like, oh, they're locking it down so no other teams can come in. And so that's why we kind of started the idea of pro teams is no, that's exactly not what we're doing. We're allowing pros to come in with us to ghost hunt so we can basically see how your team operates. And eventually we will open it up to where you can actually host events at our locations. We just want to make sure that we've ghost hunted with you, that we know that you're good people, that we know that you're not looking for demon clickbait, because it's not going to happen on my watch. It's just not. It's just not how demons operate. And I will stand my ground on that. It's just not how it works. You just don't go into a place. You're talking about ancient evil, Dan. I've talked to him about this a lot. It's ancient evil. This is Mesopotamian. This is Sumerian. This is Baal. These are real demons, right? These are things that are mentioned in ancient books.
And they're hanging out in different places, jiggling.
They're just jiggling that door handle.
Yeah, they can go anywhere they want to go, but they're in that haunted location.
That door handle, Dan, is where they want to be right now. I know if I just figure this out. He's talking about like wise people, and then even talking to demons is really funny when I see people do that. It's like you don't know Aramaic, or it's just really funny to me that people people just go for it, man. It's like 40,000 likes on like a YouTube video. Like, that's not a demon. And there's one video that has like, I don't know, like 200,000 views, and it's like, it's just the title. They don't even go into demon. It's just the title said it in there. I'm like, where's the demon at? And everybody's like, fast forwarding. I need to see that demon. Well, my thing is, as I was saying in seminary, if you keep looking for eventually you'll find it, right? You just don't want to. You don't want to be on the other end of that. You're not going to win.
Yeah, what you manifest. Yeah, I know all about that. Especially when you go in there and you keep manifesting things, shit will happen.
Eventually, it'll be negative energy. It'll turn that way. It'll make itself feel like a demon, because that's what everybody keeps saying.
And that's when people sick.
Yeah. You have your Carmen here said it was a very awesome night at Arcadia and meeting new people from different teams and the para-unity coming together.
Yeah, that's a big thing that we're trying to do too. I mean, a lot of times there are people that are saying that word para-unity, so we're probably going to come up with our own version of that. But usually the people that say they're the ones that cause all the drama. And we're trying to like separate ourselves from these people that cry because they can't sell tickets. And it's like, hey, sometimes we don't sell out, but hey, man, we're going to have the best fun with 6 or 7 people that did buy the tickets. That's the way we look at it, you know? Because if you can encourage those that came to start talking about it, because you can spend millions of dollars in media, as you guys both know. You're producers. You guys both know that it's a hard algorithm to navigate, and there's so many different people out there. Like, try this and try that and shut this off. And hey, if you did this, if you advertise here and did you clickbait here, right. and it's the best way to do it is organic growth. And they have to ghost hunt with you. I guarantee if you come out and go to a HSP event, you will have the time of your life. I don't think anybody left. Even if you don't get anything, you're going to have a good time. And that's why our Grim Reaper is actually holding a chicken. The scythe, actually, the handle of the scythe is a grubber chicken. It's because we want people to still understand that don't take it too serious, man. Like, because we're trying to have a good time, and he is literally
right.
Camera left, but yeah, he's inside there. That little scythe there is a chicken, and he's just.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah. But and he's hidden in there, and it's stuff like that. Like you got to have fun, but at the same time, you want to have a good time, and that's what these things are. I mean, you are wasting a weekend in an abandoned place, and most chances it's going to be extremely hot or extremely cold.
You only get 4 months out of the year. Good weather for 4 months here in Missouri. Don't get me wrong on that.
I definitely like to go places where it's a little warmer, because I have been to places where it's been cold and we've been there all night long and freezing, and it's just like, wow. I mean, and to me, when you're on an investigation and you're cold, and like Frankie said earlier, you know, you got to trust your instincts. You got to trust what your senses are, and et cetera at the time. And when you're cold, you're freezing. A lot of that affects you. So I always like going to places when it's a little warmer. So during the winter months, I always do podcasts.
Yeah, I don't like to be sitting in a room waiting for a ghost to respond and sweat rolling down my back, and that's just not a good feeling.
When we were with like we were saying earlier in the show, we had a Discovery Plus came out. They were filming an episode of Ghost Off Grid at Emmaus Village, and I was sitting there with and these guys were all from Canada, so they're super sweet. Just the sweetest people in the world. The hockey game, those weren't the Canadians we met. We met the sweetest people in the world, and every Canadian I've ever met they're just nice people. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, do you hear that tapping sound? The guy's like, it's my teeth. I'm shivering. That's so cool. And I'm like, I don't know if we're getting the right stuff, dude.
I have to admit, though, that, like, and just to throw this into Jordan and Johnny and Ghost Off Grid, and if anybody catches that show, it's over international. They're trying to get it here in the United States. It shows in Canada and the UK, Ireland, and Germany. But everything they captured there nothing was fake. Everything was legit. I mean, we were watching them, and everything they captured was great. They didn't try to fake nothing. I mean, I think Johnny did his, or Jordan, Johnny did his in that lonely hallway, and didn't really get none for his solo. But, you know, they didn't fake nothing. They didn't try to do anything. No, so
they're good, real.
It was definitely legit, hunters. You know.
They're good.
That's definitely one thing I like.
Yes, that stuff is real.
They were champs, man.
That's definitely one thing I like to do when I go on a live investigation. What you see is what happens there. So there's no editing. There's no playing around. It's what you see is what happened. So it's just not us that's seen it. It's the viewers that see it as well. And I don't like it when they go in and cut and edit stuff and et cetera, because that takes away or what's going on to begin with. And the fact is, like I said, when you're seeing it live and then they can actually comment with you, it's like, hey, you know, I did see this. You can always go back and check it. It's like, hey, no, it was this or whatever, and verify it. So I always think that's great when I go out and do lives like that. And, you know, it lets people interact with me as well on investigations. And I always think that's a cool thing. So,
yeah. 100%.
Timothy says here, something that will stick with me is something that was said from the RC exorcist interview. Demons don't live in a realm with time. If they want to find, they will. No need to go looking. If you go looking for them, they could follow, and it could be any moment in life.
Yeah, RC meaning Roman Catholic exorcist. Yeah, he's right. Demons do live on a different realm. They live on a different level of existence. The land of the dead is primarily where they reside. It depends on where your focus in your study is. Remember too that there's a lot of schools of thought on it. There's a 72 lesser keys of Solomon, which is where demonology kind of starts the talking points. When you're a good seminarian, when you're good in theology, you have to understand all sides. You have to understand where Muslims are coming from, where Jews are coming from. And Judaism doesn't really get into that in the Old Testament, because remember that the Old Testament is written in Greek. It's written in Kolsha, which is a Greek text, and it's a very ancient Greek. And so what that means is that when the Bible writers were translating these things, they surmised a lot of stuff. The focus of the Bible is not to learn about demons. The focus of the Bible is to learn about God and Christ. So that is not the book that you would read to learn about them. They're mentioned. They give you key highlights. But that's not where exorcists study demons at. So what Fresta is talking about, he's talking about the land kind of before the first temple of Jerusalem is what he's referring to. And then we're currently in the second temple of Jerusalem to the third, which is destruction, right? So only the Wailing Wall stands today. So the first level of essentially that the first temple of Jerusalem, you're talking about ancient evil that was around. God does not diminish, and this is another thing that's a common misconception, is this idea that God was the only one. God is clear that he is Yahweh. God is also clear that he refers to the Elohim. And if you don't know what the Elohim is basically every god that's below Yahweh. Now, Yahweh is the one, right? That's the guy. So there are demigods. There are satanic, demonic forces that worked with God at one point before the Great Alliance. The casting of Satan and Lucifer as separate entities that control hell is erroneous and ridiculous. That's not a thing. Nobody controls hell. Satan is actually just a thing that is misinterpreted. It comes from the Jewish text. It means the Satan, which basically just means an evil thing. It's not an actual physical person. Lucifer was an angel, a fallen one. He's a watcher, part of Elohim, not part of Yahweh, right? They're not omniscient. That's the other thing about looking for demons. You know, can demons follow you? Can they track you? Sure. Demons are mostly after people that are loves Christ. So half the time when I talk to these people, they don't even believe in God. They don't believe in, I believe in all religions. I believe in all of them. It don't work that way. It comes from our literature. It comes from our text. So if you're wanting to believe in demons, but you're not wanting to believe in this, then it's like, well, you've lost me, bud. But yeah.
So I have a question for you, Frank, since you brought that up there a second ago. Do you believe people with higher energy can detour some of these better than the people that has low energy, and that's how they get the attachments they get and stuff, is because their energy's so low and they go into that realm with that entity that it just kind of sucks them in?
It really depends. Energy is an interesting word. It's really about low faith. The indoctrination of demonic entities is through acts and weakness and strengthening of faith. Exorcists are chosen. He's 100% right, Timothy Presta. It's the first book of Enoch is what I'm referring to. First book of Enoch is legitimate, Timothy. The second, third, and fourth books are not. And the reason why you can conclude that Enoch 1 or first Enoch, based on the Ethiopian church, you can I'm sorry. I'll answer your question in a second. Timothy had a good question. The book of Enoch is not in the Bible. It's not. You will not find it there. It was removed. The reason why we know that First Enoch is an actual gospel or scripture is because it's mentioned at the same time that the Bible is being written by the Bible writers. They are translating it. They are seeing Enoch. They are not putting Enoch in. There's reasons why they chose to do that. Books of faith, books of strength. But Enoch is a very real book. They choose to leave it out because it can be very confusing, but it also can right a different wrong. Watchers never want it to be looked upon as gods, but they were. And so Enoch is left out because just like they can be corrupted, so can people. If you left Enoch in the Bible, it's the only book anybody would ever read. So the Bible writers were smart in their choices. You have to also understand that the book of Revelation will not see any inheritance till Constantine. Constantine is going to put the book of Revelation that's written by John on the Isle of Patmos when he was expanded by the Roman armies. So there's a lot of history that goes within theology. And that's the problem with these young demon seekers and hunters and seers and all these types of things. It's like you have to understand the history of kind of how it works. But usually when you look at possession, which is extremely rare, and every Roman Catholic exorcist will tell you that, it's more prominent in third world countries. It's not prominent in America. It's just not. It just does not happen that much. Possession and all that shit does not happen that much. But when it does happen, it's usually targeting towards something. So in the case of Father Gary Thomas, the demon was after the priest. The kid was the medium of choice. This child, this woman, this person was the medium of choice. The demon can kill you like that. That's the other thing that I would warn people. The Bible is very clear on that. Demons can kill you. They don't have to abide by anything. In most cases, as Roman Catholic exorcists will tell you, you're looking at things that possession sometimes ends with the death of the person that's possessed. It does happen. It happens a lot in Italy. It happens a lot in First Vatican. Second Vatican was the reason why Father Gary Thomas takes the Vatican and says, I don't like what we're doing here. We need to start performing the ritual, not the rite. And those are two different things. The rite of exorcism is for disembodied voices of spirits that were once human. And then there's the ritual, which is basically dealing with dark energy. You're dealing with ancient demons. Those two things are not held up by the Vatican, once again, because why? Well, because the church makes money, because you have to pay for your possession. And what happens is they subside the demons come back, you come in. It's kind of like pharmaceutical and healthcare doctors. Yay! Like Johnson & Johnson makes Band-Aids, but they also make razor blades. So there you go. You're going to need a razor blade. You're going to need a Band-Aid. So it's that type of formula. What Father Gary Thomas decided to do was come to Chicago, start the School of Exorcism in America, and did things very differently. He treated all the cases of cancer, as we would call, at stage 4 for possession. They did the ritual, and they went right after the demons and bound them to the cross of Christ, and they were gone forever. And so when you look at that type of stuff, in those scenarios, if you have weak-minded people, if you have people that are kind of like have to be happy and you know, they're already weak, man. You got to stay the path, right? God's clear on that, right? It's like the path to righteousness is very narrow and treacherous, but the path to being open and accepting everything, that's easy. So why would a demon need somebody necessarily that's praying to them? Like you have a Church of Satan in Salem, Massachusetts. Demons don't need those people. They have them. They want people that are like me. They hunt me. They hunt priests. That's what they want. They want God's chosen is what they want. So the thing that I would remind people is that when you're going to ghost hunt, enjoy that you are talking to people that might need closure. That's where the answers need to come from, especially when me and Dan are at Emmaus, where you had a lot of people that were in asylum that were locked up and they shouldn't have been. Right. But they might have stories to tell. And if we're just focused on trying to find, Beelzebub, that's not right. He's not in Missouri. OK, maybe he's definitely in Arizona. He's probably in California. But whatever. The thing that I would say is that, right. It's just like, it's just funny to me. It's like, oh, you're in Michigan and you found Beelzebub. That's great.
All the demons are in Florida. That's why those people are crazy.
I mean, the ancient texts say that demons pretty much hang out around where they were formed. Yeah.
I say that because Frankie's from Florida.
You're not wrong. You're not. Yeah. So yeah, it's really dependent upon the strength, weaknesses. It's basically where your faith is. If you're a very good Christian and you have a very good relationship with Christ, then of course the demon will seek you out. He will tempt you, right? And there's a darker conversation here, but that leads into the Crusades. But a lot of times people get bored with that. The priest in the basement. Yeah, Father Gregory.
I was just going to say that you can have different things if you want with us.
Yeah.
If you want to investigate like people that were like were treated mean and stuff and asylum type, we have that. If you wanted to come and investigate nuns and priests, we have that. If you want to do gangsters and brothel and, we have that. And all three locations are totally different.
Yeah.
Areas like
experience.
Yeah, the Emmaus is like asylum and stuff, and Arcadia Academy is priest and nuns and stuff, and then St. Louis Haunted Mansion is all gang mobsters, and it used to be it was opened up as a brothel and a bar, a saloon. And
Great place. Yeah, it's a smaller location. I think we only sell 10 tickets to it because we want people to experience it. And I think that's the other thing too, is that a lot of these guys that run these events, they'll open the ticket sales up and there's like 75 people there. And it's like, we're never going to get anything. We limit our ticket sales so that people have experiences and they can go away and they can get quiet and they can kind of just do their thing where no other person is bothering them. And the other thing that we do is we allow younger people.
Not quantity.
It's quality, not quantity. Exactly. So we take a hit with that. I mean, sure, we could sell 100 tickets to Emmaus. We limit our ticket sales at 50. Emmaus can easily take 100 people. We have 5 buildings, but we want people to have a qualified experience rather than a quantified experience, right? Well, quantify it. Yeah. 100 people. That's a lot of money. We just made you 10 grand. It's like, but we don't look at it that way. We look at it like we want our name to grow. We want people to hunt with us.
And what's also unique.
I think what you're doing.
Go on.
I think what you're doing is great is the fact of that, because if you get too many people in a location, it corrupts all the data you get, because then you don't know who's talking from where and who's been whispering and stuff like that. And when you limit it to so much, then like you said, they get that experience they're looking for and not have something that's tainted. So I like that idea a lot.
When I used to work for the company I used to work with, they would do a large location and they would sell like 200 tickets. And it's just people on top of people, and you couldn't, like you said, you couldn't tell whether it was the whispers were coming from someone else doing an Estes method, or, people were talking, or footsteps. So you could never really get a definite, clear cut of your EVPs or anything like that, because you really didn't know what you have and stuff. So yeah, that was a big thing when I switched over and I started. I was like, I want more of a quality than a quantity and stuff. So with that's
awesome. We have Susan Victoria in the house from Happy Hour Paranormal. She's from the Boston area.
She's Boston.
She's from the Boston area. She's really cool. And thanks for sharing out, Susan. Then you got Timothy here. It says Haunted Mansion. Yes, please sign us up.
Well, you better sign up March 14th.
March 15th.
March 15th.
March 15th. Tickets going on sale.
There's only 10 tickets.
That's a small one. That's like a 10. That's a little limited 10 people investigation.
Should be up on our site.
It is.
HauntedSouls.com with a Z.
Yeah.
Now is the time, because we'll start filling up soon, because ghost season's just around. The ghost hunting season's just around the corner.
One of the things that we also have unique to that a lot of places don't have, and we're deep diving into this year too, is our Emmaus property is a cryptic area. So there's been a Dogman sighting there's actually a road named Dogman Road next to Emmaus. So we're going to be indulging,
we're not cryptid guys. My theology does mixture a little bit of creatures and ancient creatures and what these things might have been. There are mentions of that in some of the ancient texts about different creatures that were released.
I like that pair of freaks.
That's a pair of freaks.
Yeah,
The girlfriend was here. I wanted to say hi to him. He was sending some love. The thing that the cryptid stuff, we're lending Blondes and Booze. I don't know if you guys know of them, but they're pretty big into the cryptid research. So Brandy and Krista and Texas Front Porch and a couple other big cryptid guys are actually coming Michigan Rob. They're actually coming in to investigate.
Hey, there's Danny.
Hey, Myers. That's our cop. That's our resident cop on our team. Things get rowdy. She takes care of it.
That's
awesome.
There you go.
Yeah, so the cryptid thing is happening. There's a small investigation coming up, and then they're going to we're going to do like some camping sites for them. You just got to really limit the amount of people that are out there when you're doing cryptid. Is a very different world, but yes, Emmaus does hold
the paranormal and the cryptid.
Yeah, and people love that area because. And last time they were out, Terry Mosby, Brandy, and Krista caught something on audio that sounded horrendous. It's just the most vile sounding thing in the world. And I'm a very amateur hunter, but I know calls. I know elk sound weird, moose make weird noises. I don't know what the hell this thing was. I'm like, maybe Ball is here. I don't know.
And it was in the woods too. It wasn't like in the building. It was out in the woods. Like, yeah, I'm not going out there. I'm like, I don't even walk the tree line. I don't even get close to the tree line.
Like, you guys want to camp with us? I'm like, we're good.
This is going to be interesting because this is like Memorial Weekend. We're going to be pitching camp. Me and Frankie and Jeremy and Maddie, we're all going to be pitching tents with these guys. And I'm like, so what do we do? Do we like go in the woods? They're like, no, we just pinch and camp. We just wait for it to come to us. Like, okay.
It's like going to be like Blazing Saddles. I'm just bringing beans.
Yeah, we're going to sit around and eat pork.
All right.
Well,
guys, I'm gonna do something for the show tonight because we've been talking a lot and the show's been going great. Are you guys able to go another half hour?
Yeah.
We're good. Yeah.
So I have a question.
We're going to stretch.
Oh yeah, Frankie talk like he can't talk for another 25 minutes.
Yeah, well, we're going to stretch the show out for another half hour. We're going to stretch the show out for another half hour. This has been going really well. Go ahead, Glenn.
No, I'm just saying, how far is this from me? I'm in the South. I'm in South Carolina. So it's probably like a day drive. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
What part of South Carolina are you in?
It's in Greenwood, South Carolina.
Greenwood?
Do you know where Greenville is? It's about an hour south.
Okay.
Yeah, about an hour from there.
You're close to Asheville.
Sort of, yeah. Not far.
What about Spartanburg area? How far are you from Spartanburg?
About an hour. A little over an hour.
It's about, if it's just you,
11 hours.
If it's just you, yeah, it's about 11 hours.
11 hours.
But I'm just saying, if you bring 4 people and they have to pee every 6 seconds, like there are people that belong on road trips and there are people that do not belong on road trips.
Yes.
I will leave your ass at Quick Trip if I need to.
I just want to get a drink, man. It's not like I got to stop. He tells me all the time.
Like, gas station. Yeah. He should run tours for gas stations, like literally.
Okay, number 1 rule for a road trip: you pack a cooler that somebody can reach, so you can pass them.
You don't know what you can. You can miss pickleballs.
Yeah,
like we found pickleballs. They're like cheese balls, but they're pickle flavored.
Missed the ghosts. Missed all the ghosts in the action.
You can never know what you can find in a gas station.
Velasquez pickleballs. They're like cheese balls, but they're dill flavored.
Yeah, they're dill pickleballs.
Missed all the action. Missed all the ghosts. Basically, the apparition came out of the basement, said its name, handed us the keys.
Yeah, we're late.
The Book of Dead from Egypt.
No,
he had Thoth's emerald green tablets.
Wait, no, wait.
Dr. Pepper.
If there's a Starbucks, he's got to stop.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's a drive-through.
Yeah,
that's a drive-through. Yeah, you can drive through Starbucks.
That's right.
You can put your order in the phone.
No.
Then you got the fartist on our team.
Yeah, we got the other guy. He just farts everywhere. Oh my god! Like he wants to eat like wizard fingers from gas stations. Hot dogs have been on there for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And chili from a gas station. And
if a hot dog is longer, if it's been on there for like 12 hours or long and it starts to wither away, we call them wizard fingers.
We go to these small towns and like Jeremy, look, they got like like sushi. I got sushi to go at this gas station.
No.
No.
Actually,
We got
you made a really good comment.
Yeah, we got Raymond Newsom in the house from the Spirit Mechanics, and he shared out. Thank you.
Spirit
This
Mechanics
is Aaron Hoffman, the Weird Show.
Yeah,
Aaron's a hell of a guy.
Yeah,
he's not wrong there. The Wendigo, like some of those stories are.
I don't know, man. Bigfoot. Why can't I'm still going back to that? That's a pretty big guy. There should be some big poop out there somewhere. There should be some really big poop out there.
But if he's
is he going in the water?
A lot of people believe that Bigfoot
use it as a toilet?
Is transdimensional. These guys, there's rips and currents inside. And actually, the Bible. So you'll see a lot on. I'm sure you guys know this a lot about portals. We talk a lot about these portals. Okay, the Bible is very clear that exists. There are tears in the earth, which, if you read the ancient text, would be eres, right? So eres. They're referring to the earth, the below, the realm. And some biblically sound, yes, portals are biblically sound. There can be places where portals exist, if you believe in the ancient text, where these things can emerge, these creatures, like a Bigfoot, can emerge.
So they go into the porthole, poop, and come back out?
Well, they might poop before they go, right?
and that's not Taylor Swift errors, right?
Right. No,
they don't stop at the gas station to poop.
Yeah, I mean, come on, like knock on the door. Can I?
Yeah. So I have a question for you guys also. When you say down below, that brings up something to me. I have frequently got told at many locations, go. That kind of thing. Do y'all ever get that kind of thing?
You just froze up, right? You asked that.
Did I?
Yeah. We're all on suspense, like,
yeah.
Am I back?
Yep.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay.
Yep.
See, every time I talk about this kind of stuff, that's what happens. So, okay. Different locations, many times. I've gotten down below, look below, go below, all that kind of stuff. Have you ever gotten anything like that?
Is that like even in the basement, and that tells you to go below?
Yes. Actually, yes. That was one of the first times. And I was like, well, what the heck is below the basement besides digging?
Basement.
Well, no, this was dirt. So there was no, there was,
then there might be something buried in the dirt.
There could be something buried in the dirt. We get that a lot too, like buried in the walls.
The walls have ears or something
1889 McAteer Villa. We've been in that basement numerous times, and we're getting it in the walls, like there's somebody's buried in the walls or something like that. So
interdimensional outhouse.
Yeah,
Raymond, you need to make that out here. Please make that a new podcast. Interdimensional outhouse.
Yeah, we're gonna holler out here. We got Carla from Horror Paranormal. She does movies and stuff like that, and she does cosplay. And she's really interesting to check out.
She needs to get a hold of us, because we actually going to have Santiago Cirillo, who played in The Walking Dead. He's going to come out, and they're coming out to check about our location, about doing an event, and we do like a horror paranormal thing. And if she's an actor or something, she could come down and speak or whatever. So yeah, she needs to get a hold of us and stuff for when we have our event and stuff for that.
Cool.
Then you got Timothy here. He says ley lines.
Oh,
go ahead, Frankie.
Yeah.
That would be down below.
Yes, ley lines is actually a good thought on that. But also interdimensional when you look at certain. It's hard to. There's a lot to that ley lines, right? So. So a lot of properties over time. You got 5 minutes, dude.
You got 5 minutes, dude.
I don't have 5 minutes. A lot of properties over time shift. The weight beneath them shifts. They aggregate more soil and dirt. A lot of times, especially in St. Louis, here people will start. Oh, it's a dirt basement, but when they started digging, it was actually floor. There was actually Nicholson pavers, which Nicholson pavers are wood. Before brick before cobblestone in the city of St. Louis, we had 12 miles of Nicholson pavers. And if you don't know what Nicholson pavers are, people used to complain about how noisy it was when they heard the clip-clop of horses going down the street. And so Nicholson came out for a way of sound bearing that one by making these small wooden tiles. They're about that thick and they were square. And he'd put these Nicholson, and then it would soften the blow of wheels, wagon wheels, and horseshoes. So a lot of times when they say look below, look further, it could also mean that something exists in the soil that where you are. If the house was moved or shifted, it could be at certain places. You also have lodges, like Masonic lodges. They're always going to have a cornerstone.
True.
That's a huge thing. So you just, I mean, it's good to have people on the team that, you know, have the construction background, have the historic backgrounds, have the historian. So we have like architectural historians that we work with that are really fun on ghost hunts because they're like, well, I don't know that would be there because if you dig any more, you're going to get water, you know, stuff like that. So, but you know, overall, it's a crapshoot when you're ghost hunting.
Or it could just be a dead body buried there.
That's true. I have worried about
I'm right,
me up. I'm right here, right below you. You're standing up.
Take my hand.
We actually had a location that the owners would not let us dig up the property, and we think there's several bodies left on there because they found. If you look up Galesburg, Illinois, and it was about maybe 8-9 years ago, or maybe not quite that long, maybe about 5 years ago, they actually found a half of a body in a house here. And we had the chance to do an investigation with another team there. And that was interesting because we took luminol to the walls. We still found blood. And a lot of strange things happened in that house. But still to this day, we think there's bodies on that property.
I mean, luminol is still showing that up. It's fairly
that long. Yeah, that's pretty.
That's scary, actually. Associate with
we've seen fragments of it.
Oh, that's why the owner doesn't want you to bury and start digging. Apparently, he might have.
Very true.
Did you guys hear about? Get off my ankle.
My pelvis.
Yeah. It's like the ghost just said, "Lean on me." No, it's saying you're leaning on me. Oh, he's in the wall.
He's in the wall.
There you go.
Yeah. So, but there's a thing that actually exists now that I'm doing a little track on, little investigation of my own. So I don't know if you guys have heard this, but allegedly, O.J. Simpson was haunted by the ghost of Nicole.
I have heard that.
Okay.
You heard this? This is
I've heard.
Where?
Yes.
But where? At his mansion?
Like,
In Brentwood?
Well, the most famous case is a guy on an airplane filmed him. Like OJ was on the plane and the guy was sitting. So if he was kind of sitting a row behind and to the right. So he had like kind of a clear shot at OJ Simpson and was kind of like watching him like the whole way. And then he dozed off for a second. And he had this full on conversation
with someone,
with Nicole. No, he was clear.
Oh,
wow.
No, that's funny you say that because I just watched that Netflix documentary.
The
new one, where at the end of the whole, I don't want to blow it, but he does tell someone that he killed Nicole.
Oh, so you just blew it?
Yeah. I mean, well, everybody knows he did it. Come on.
Yeah, but that's kind of why they probably. I was wondering why they did that film again.
Yeah,
because I thought ESPN was, but that part never comes up. But you know, is there a thing we had right when COVID was just whatever it was? I don't believe in half the thing the government tells me, but the thing that I do remember is like we lost a lot of great interviews, and we actually had DeFeo lined up, the guy that committed the murder at the Amityville. He was still alive, and so me and my buddy Jeremy were going to go up there and interview him. And I wrote him for 3 freaking years. There's a whole thing here.
Show and tell.
There you go.
Whole thing. I can't. Prison release form. I can't show the actual writing, but this entire packet is from DeFeo. It's our writings back and forth. Okay. And
Oh wow.
So he finally agrees to meet with us and do the show. And then COVID happens and he dies of COVID in the prison.
Oh.
So we would have had the real story of Amityville, but no.
Wow.
Okay. Some pharmaceutical company had to make money. Oh.
No, but the whole MJ thing or the whole OJ thing is they show you a lot more stuff that was not released to the public and in court and stuff. So
that's important to me. He definitely did it. No doubt in my head. But that was a race thing. It's the only thing that I remember from the 90s that was actually, that, and it was just it was awful. The whole thing was just
the whole thing. It all started after the whole Rodney King thing. And stuff,
and it was just so many different. Well, the woman was killed with her grocery bags too by the cops. Like LA cops were not really loved back then. So that whole I always thought it was his son that might have done it, and he was covering for his son. You ever heard that theory? That was interesting. His son's a little off, and same size.
I mean, that's a podcast we have.
Yeah, were you with us for the OJ one?
No, so we might have to do an OJ on Tuesday.
Oh, we did, man.
Well, no, on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, tune in.
Yeah,
we're gonna drink orange juice.
Yeah,
with vodka. Horror of Horror and us will have some vodka and orange juice, and we will talk about OJ, which makes total sense.
Yeah.
Well, you actually can't have orange juice. You're diabetic.
Yes. Thank you.
So you're welcome.
Okay. Wait a minute. So he just said it, right? You can't drink orange juice because you're diabetic. He's like, hey, I saw some for you on my way home, and I picked it up for you. It's a Yoo-Hoo chocolate candy bar. So how well?
Diabetic. He needs to eat that.
He loves you. As long as do the test in the morning. Yeah. Maybe have a square. Don't eat the whole freaking thing.
I won't eat the whole thing.
Just pass it.
I'll be in a coma.
I might use that.
So I want to know about the doll that's behind you, Dan.
Who, Abby?
Sorry.
That's Abby.
That's Abby.
That's Abby.
Sorry,
Sean.
Sean.
One of our haunted dolls.
Yeah, I know. That's why I like her.
We have 5.
Yeah, we have 5 haunted dolls.
Is she a good girl or a bad girl?
Very, very, very calm.
She's calm. Oh. She stays here in the studio. Cornflakes in his truck.
Actually, since we've had Abby in here.
Everything's gone good.
Good. We don't have any more gremlins. We don't have any more stuff with our equipment.
That's what I need. I need an Abby.
So, exactly. And we basically what happens is if you leave our team or you don't like us for some reason, we actually name haunted dolls after you. So you'll be forever immortalized.
Yeah, you're immortalized,
That's Abby. Bye, Abby.
So we have cornflake.
We have like political statements on personal accounts.
We got
Okay, I have to know about cornflake. You have to tell the story because
cornflake is a
composite doll.
Composite doll. He's flaking on his head and stuff, so we call them cornflake.
So he made other dolls. Yeah, he made these dolls from World War II that they gave out to kids that were disparaged from homes that got blown up in France, because France and their wonderful army. So we always have to bail them out. But during those types of terrible things, the U.S. GIs came over, and they basically would hand out teddy bears and dolls and stuff like that. And so cornflake is part of that World War II doll. And kids from, we believe, what might have been concentration camps as well, would have received these dolls. He was in the doll factory fire, so he's kind of melty. But he's a good sport. We brought him to a radio station on Friday, and Columbo's still alive, so I guess he's cool. Because Columbo was all up on him, man.
Yeah.
Stop touching him, dude. It's weird.
Did you get that picture of him with the headphones? You have that picture? You can bring Cornflake up. He can bring it up and show you what Cornflake looks like.
I would like to see that.
Yeah. We also have a Geisha doll, and we've seen her move in her case. Yep. So she has moved, and then
we don't know about that one.
Yeah, she's at another haunted location right now. And then we have Tim, you're not listening to this, but we have a haunted vase that has miraculously just vanished.
Does it travel?
I don't know where it's at right now. It's in Emmaus somewhere. We think so.
We hope.
So do you get a prize if you find the traveling vase?
I don't know, Tim. Tim, the guy that's on here, he gave it to me because he was having bad luck with it.
Oh.
So I said, yeah, I'll take it. thinking that we were going to put it in a haunted location, and now
we did.
Emmaus is, I don't know who's done with what with it, but
somebody took it.
We're still looking for it.
Well, there are objects that travel for real. So.
Yep.
He's like, yeah. If it ends up back at your house, Tim, let me know. I'll come back.
Oh wow, it could. It could.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Tim got this vase, and his life turned into a country music song. We love you, Tim.
You do know what happens when you play a country music song backwards, right?
You get your house back, you get your dog back, you get your wife back.
Yep.
But what if you don't want your wife back?
Yeah.
I don't have my phone.
Yeah, it's the whole box is gone. I had it in the box, so we're looking for it at Emmaus. It was supposed to be in the office, and it's not in the office. So it's all in one piece. So we'll find it. It's not gonna go. We'll get it. Yeah, but if it shows bucket, dude, tell me about it. Yeah, if it shows back up at your house, just let me know.
I will post cornflake right now.
Yeah, he's getting it right now.
Please stand clear of the doors.
But that's the part about when we hang out and people are like, "Oh, you gave that guy a nickname," but it's an enduring thing. So
yeah, before I see him, does he look anything like this? I don't know if you can see. Oh, here we go. Nope. Oop, nope.
I'm not.
You're down.
Yeah.
Oh, almost. He's got a different uniform on though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look, that's
probably the one that the replica that they made.
Right.
With
he
him,
would have made that doll.
Yes. But he's a little flaky because he was in a fire. So Frankie decided. The lady when we bought him, she was like, "Thank God you finally that doll's finally leaving here." She's like, "That thing is just." I'm like, "Okay, cool, we're taking it."
Up and I'll share my screen real quick.
Oh, you can always talk.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. I like
That's
that,
the
Raymond.
plan.
There you go.
That's the plan.
Yep. You don't need the truck and the wife. You just need the dog.
Now maybe the truck back.
Yeah, I would think that, unless you got a new one.
A better one, yeah.
Yeah, the new ones will drive off on their own.
True.
You can present him.
There you go. He sent you the picture.
He's in
Here we go.
He
I'll bring him up right
Oh,
there.
he is close to us
Oh,
again.
wow.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
Cornflake. Look at that. That's cool.
Yeah, he was at the radio show. So we're on 2 radio shows. We're on 2 Friday afternoons, and then the Haunted Garage. Frankie and Jeremy and I do a radio show on Saturday nights.
Oh, that's cool. I'm going to have to tune in then. Definitely. And, you guys are always welcome to come into one of the shows that I do. So,
yeah,
anytime.
Let us know. I think we talked about the haunted object show that we saw because Sean showed us the advertisement for your network.
Oh, our haunted object lab?
Yeah, that looked pretty cool. So,
well, we it's in a trailer actually, and we got some dolls mailed to us, a big box of dolls last year, mailed to us from a haunted place. Let's say one of them is a very bad girl, very bad. She bit somebody.
She bit somebody.
She bit somebody.
That's all we need.
We need that.
She
bit you in a room with this doll and see what happens with you.
No, she didn't bite somebody for me. Either she made another doll move, or she did something because I had them. I was taking pictures when we first got them, and I had 2 little dolls. This one and another little doll with a yellow dress on, and I go to turn, and the yellow dress doll goes bloop, and I was like, either she moved herself or the other one moved her. So I don't know which one it was.
Yeah, that was kind of like our geisha doll that I had. Was like Nicole was like, "Did that doll just move?" She's like, "It was facing the other way, and now it's facing sideways."
Abby really hasn't moved. She likes it in that corner.
Abby just chills.
Even though she's in the corner.
She has good energy. I like her.
So Tony had to put the headphones on because we call him Tony Jr. Tony Colombo Jr.
Aw.
He has the same haircut.
Yeah, he does have the same haircut. You should have put a monster in his hand.
Yeah.
Aw.
A straw.
Get him a baby monster. Yeah.
Yeah. We give him a straw. Yeah.
A baby monster. Or giving its own voodoo doll.
I don't know. That might not be a good idea. What if he didn't like you? He might make a voodoo doll out of you.
So what Daniel is talking about.
Was
Danielle here, Myers, is talking about Reverend Carl Strom. He's in Emmaus. He resides on the 3rd floor of the college building.
Oh, it was.
Okay. He likes to stare out that window to his old house. And Reverend Strom lost a daughter at Emmaus. She was a nurse, and she had eye surgery and was on some type of medication. It was the 60s, I believe. And she ran a thermal bath for herself. And upon coming back into the bathroom, the meds struck her pretty hard, and she passed out into the tub, but without checking the thermometer. Wow. And she was scalded to death. So she actually didn't drown. She was burnt and killed instantly. So it was pretty bad. I think that they're both in that building. Reverend Carl is not a good. He doesn't like people being there.
Yeah, I don't think he likes us. Bad. People like communicating with his other spirits and stuff. But he don't do nothing. But he does. He's very upstairs, like just watching everybody and just upset. Just
Yeah, Strom. We call him Reverend Stern.
Yeah, Reverend Stern. And what Danny was saying is she was doing the God helmet. If you ever saw the God helmet, we did the God helmet, and she actually sat in the bathtub that Maria passed away in. And she was describing this gentleman as like Amish looking with a beard and no mustache, describing his clothes, and like he's upset that people are there. And I started to say like our Father or something, and she's like, oh, stop that, he's not very happy about that and stuff. And she had no idea who he was. That was her first time being there. And after she got done and everything, someone came up, went down in the basement, and there was a picture of the same guy that she described, and it was Reverend Carl Stern. And she was like, that's the guy I saw when I was doing the God helmet and stuff. So
the God helmet is growing on me a lot. And unfortunately, we do have we use Terry Mosby's.
Yeah, we need to get one of our own.
It's hard to get one though, because you have to make sure it's Persinger's design. That's the problem. Got to follow his script. There is a person that does them. He's currently not taking orders, so we're waiting.
Pam,
so I have a question about your equipment. Hey, Pam, where do you get your equipment?
We make it.
No, I'm saying, where can people get it?
Oh, yeah.
We're advertising for you, yeah.
At any of the Paracons that we're at our festivals, and then our website just launched. Our new website just launched, so eventually we'll have a product on there, and you can buy them through there and stuff. You can come to one of our events. We have all of our equipment there at the events and stuff. So
yeah, and this year we're doing something different too. We're actually going to do ghost tours as well. So we'll be doing ghost tours on Wednesday and Thursday nights at Emmaus. We do one tour a night. And it's just to get people's feet wet with overnight investigation. So they can actually do the ghost tour. It's about an hour and a half. We can tell them all about the ghost on property. And if they want to do the actual overnight investigation, they can turn their ticket in after they've done the tour. And that $20 will go toward overnight investigations. So it's only $80 for them to investigate overnight because they did the ghost tour. And if you weren't here earlier, the purple that I'm wearing is for ghost tour guides and for
Alyssa. Yeah,
and then the black is for our leads. So those are pretty cool. But yeah, all our equipment's usually at the Paracons or at our events, but we will have a page on the website to sell stuff. The problem with that though is that a lot of times our inventory, because we make this stuff and we make them at a really affordable price, tends to sell out before we get to a Paracon, then we don't have any product.
Yeah,
exactly. Because some of the stuff
we're trying to reinvest, like this group of here that we're going to buy is all going right back in again to try to build up our stock so we can put it online and stuff. Because people like it. It's very unique. It's very different. You don't see a mystery machine REM pod. No. You don't see a skull.
I heard you guys say that, and I was like, "No way!" Yeah,
and a skull that has its eyes light up to you when it goes off. And
we always sell the mystery machine, I think, for $85,
and the skull is $60.
And the skull is $60 versus like the REM pod, which is like $170. It's the same thing, only ours is cooler. And we don't want to price people out of ghost hunting. I don't think that's awful. Now, and our ticket prices is not the highest, it's not the lowest, but we also do that because we want a quality of ghost hunter. If you did ghost hunts for like $50, $25, you're going to get the drunks. You're going to get the people that are just, let's go this ghost tour thing. And they just make a spectacle of themselves. And we don't want that either. So we're really good at like kind of pricing ourselves in a very aligned way. And hopefully, this year we'll start seeing the economy come back a little bit. And one of the things that I specialize in with our other partner, Jeremy, is we specialize in haunted transportation. So we have haunted cars, muscle cars. So we're renters, we flip cars, we exercise them, and then we throw them out, get sold. So most of the times the gremlins are coming because the damn engine's blown. But sometimes there are passengers aboard.
Yeah. Sometimes you're almost become a passenger.
Your ghost traps? The ghost traps, you guys?
Those will be new this year, and I don't know. We haven't price wise because I haven't gotten the bill for the prototype yet to see what it all entails.
Okay.
I think that one's going to be a little bit higher than the mystery machine because we're going to have to assemble that ourselves and possibly paint it.
Yeah.
And stuff to try to get a decent price. So we'll have 3 of them at the Missouri Paracon.
We'll have 3 at Missouri Paracon.
Yeah, yes. And they'll probably be like 100 to 110 is probably what they're going to be around.
Now you could use the stickers.
Yeah, but then that they peel off, and I want more of a quality than I don't know. He's supposed to be trying to make them in all color for me, so we're going to see what happens. He's playing with that new concept right now.
Yeah.
Like the mystery machine is totally like the mystery machine is all engraved, like 3D printed. So there's no stickers on it. It's all the same colors, and it's like really good, high quality. The roof of the van comes off to where you can switch on the battery and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty good. And then we sell death whistles. Aztec death whistles is a big thing that we do. So
yeah, we've really limited. We've taken our inventory and we've really scaled it back a lot. We do still sell pendulums and pendulum boards. We sell vintage Ouija boards for collectors, not for use. I mean, when they buy it, they can do whatever they want with it. But we do have a beautiful.
You have any in stock of those?
Yes, we do.
One.
We have 2.
We're actually looking for one, a real old one. Yeah.
We have 2. Yes, we have yours from, and then we have the OG one that's bigger, and it's from Salem, Massachusetts. It's from Parker Brothers. It actually says Salem, Massachusetts on the board, and it's huge. It's the old ones, probably 1940s.
Oh yeah.
We'll have that one for sale. That one's $100, and then the other 2 I think are 65 or 60. The 2 vintage.
Or any of them, the old wood, like it almost looks like somebody cut a tree and just sliced it to make one.
No, these are all old. The ones I have are like the 70s. It has the ghost on the box.
It's Gen X. So Gen X is boards.
Yeah.
And then there's we have Gen X boards, and then we have, so it's either 2 kids playing with it or it's this blue spirit type thing.
Yeah, floating across the top of the box.
Yeah. So there's those, and then
if everything works well, like I might have a woodcrafter crafting me up some solid wood Ouija boards would be kind of cool too. So
is that your sister or his sister? I can't remember. I was listening going down the road.
She does a lot of woodworking. She does a great woodworking stuff.
My sister's with Ball in hell. She belongs.
She's been getting some stuff, and we're actually going to be carrying around. If you want to come out and see us at our events and stuff, we are actually going to have a replica Annabelle doll in its replica case. Like my sister's making the exact case it sits in with the window and everything. We will have a doll, a Raggedy Ann, so it will be a replica actual Annabelle doll.
Yeah,
and
which
the
is
exact
kind of
same
funny
case.
because the actual Annabelle doll will be there.
Yeah, it'll be there too. So we're gonna have them face to face with each other. We're gonna have.
I don't know if that's smart to have that doll there. I don't. Is that safe, really?
At one point, we're going to swap them.
Yeah, we're just gonna swap the dolls, like the Mona Lisa, like at some like Ocean's 11 or something. We're just gonna swap them out.
That would be the best comedy ever. We should make a short film where we're trying to steal the. That'd be amazing. It'd be a great film.
Yes.
All right, guys.
Sean,
we are at the top. We're at the top of the hour. I appreciate you guys coming on. Is there anything you'd like to promote here before we end the show?
Just check out Haunted Soulz Paranormal. Oh, I'm sorry, hauntedsouls.com as our website with a Z, Haunted Soulz with a Z, like on the screen here. And we have all of our events are there, or you can go to emmausvillage.com and all the Emmaus Village events are there. It's 77 acres of building. There's 300 acres of property This is the largest location. There's also 4 B&Bs on property to stay at. Arcadia has 9 B&Bs that you can stay at. They're beautiful places if you want to stay on property. And they have a great restaurant called the Abbey.
Yep.
But if you stay, you get free breakfast in the morning, which is home cooked meal, which is phenomenal.
The tickets for Arcadia are $125, but that includes dinner.
Oh, that's something that we don't.
You'll see.
Yeah, you get dinner.
Yeah, and the dinner is great. It's buffet, all you can eat. So get there early, stuff your face, and then go fart in the basement and say it was an EVP.
Demons.
That probably has happened. Yes.
Check us out on Tuesdays. We do a podcast on Tuesdays, 7 o'clock on live stream on YouTube. Go and subscribe, please. We're looking up to build our subscribers.
Yeah. And if you like the Demon Talk, we actually have June Lundgren will be on our show June 25th. Not June 25th. February 25th. She'll be on our show.
The Demon Seeker.
The Demon Seer. Seer. So this comes from the Viking side of it.
Yeah. She's been on
Viking said Seers. So yeah.
She's been on a couple of TV shows.
Yeah.
And stuff. So she'll be on. We're on every other Tuesday, so that'll be next Tuesday.
So it'll be an interesting conversation.
We do have a radio show on Saturdays on STL News Talk STL.
Yeah,
you can get the app.
News Talk STL 94.1, 101.9 if you're local, or you just download the app and you can listen to us on Saturdays from 9 to 10, and we talk all things. I think Elvis is running right now. Is Elvis still alive? Bob Joyce, is he Elvis?
Yeah, we get into that.
We stay busy.
Yes, we try to.
Yeah.
Check us out. Yep. Go to Facebook, like us, follow us, and everything. We greatly thank you for having us on.
That's awesome, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming on. I know the last time you guys were scheduled, you had some bad weather and et cetera you run into. And like I said, I look forward to meeting you guys again, and hell, even maybe coming down there and doing a show live from there too as well. And bringing maybe Gwen with me if we can get her manipulated to come down here. And,
11 hours, Gwen. I already looked it up. 11 hours.
You got it.
It'd be worth it.
She's 13 hours from that doorstep. So she's 13 hours away from me. So.
We'll pull your whole weekend up.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a deal. That's a deal. That's a deal. Just do me a favor. Let it get a little warmer because it's really cold here in the South. I'm about to freeze to death. So, yeah.
Yes.
April. We'll definitely do April.
But I appreciate you guys for coming in. I'm going to drop you guys backstage, and we'll talk here in a little bit in the back room here in a little bit.
Thank you.
And I will close out the show. And like I said, thank you guys for dropping by, and we'll see you here in a few minutes.
All right.
It's fun. Thank you.
Gwen, those guys are pretty awesome. I like them.
Oh, they're cool. Very cool. I'm about to talk you to death. Sorry about that.
That's all right. I actually got to meet Dan when I was up in the Rock Island one, and he's really cool. And we were talking about even trying to find Gizmo, making a rim pad out of a gizmo. And
I thought I heard you on the way home. Ooh,
yeah,
really?
I'm definitely going to look into that. So, but definitely check out those guys, Haunted Soulz Paranormal. Go check them out. These guys are awesome, and they're legit, man. Check them out, definitely for sure. And like I said, I appreciate them coming on the show tonight. And thank you very much. And thank you for everybody who shared out tonight as well, and anybody who stopped in as well. So,
and if you missed it, it's going to be played over after this in about half an hour on All Access Network, my Facebook and YouTube again. So it'll be out there again.
Yeah.
Very soon.
But and that by the way here reminds me of one thing here. Hang on a second.
All right.
I'm gonna play this, Gwen, before we go off the air. You ready?
Oh, sure.
Here we go.
Thank you so much.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Gwen. You do an amazing job when you put all those ads together for all of us, and keep up the amazing work. Definitely for sure. And thank you for coming on and being my co-host tonight as well.
Absolutely.
Definitely check out Haunted Soulz Paranormal. And next week, I will have everything vaguely paranormal. Those guys will be on here with me next week. So have a great weekend, and we are out of here.